All right, the title of the talk is Observatories Around the Country. All right, just recently, a couple of months ago in July, I had an opportunity to visit the Allegheny Observatory, which is located north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The idea was from Jason, because he was planning to have a weekend trip with Ashley Club or with AOS or whatever, and a weekend trip to Allegheny Observatory, and some weekend coming up and all. So I always wanted to go there, but I never knew what it was. I know somewhere in Pennsylvania, but it's on the west side, north in Pittsburgh. So it was kind of hike all the way out there. So I had an opportunity to go on the weekend of July 22nd because I had a vacation planned to go to Western New York and Niagara Falls. And of course, the Allegheny Observatory is located on the west side of Pennsylvania, and it's parallel to the same side of Western New York State. So it worked out fine. If I go there to Allegheny Observatory, then I go straight north and going on the western side of New York State to where I planned to go. And it worked out finally because the other weekends I have plans and I probably will never make it if I go with a group of guys. And also to have a bus trip too. And it's hard to get everybody together on the weekend. But the weekend of July 22nd, it was the best opportunity, and I'm going to talk about that momentarily. But before I do that, there's other observatories I visit throughout the country, and I'd rather show that first. And I'm pretty sure, some of you have been Mount Wilson, Mount Palomar, Lowell Observatory, Kitpick Observatory, Jenkins Observatory in Wisconsin, and I'm pretty sure some of you have been there. But those who haven't been there, it's be a good idea to see what it's like there, what it's like to be there, and hopefully, you plan to visit there sometime in the near future. All right, I have a lot of photos to show, but I'm going to go through quickly and all. All right, the first one I'm going to show, Mount Palomar, the 200-inch telescope. It's located in Southern California between Los Angeles and San Diego, but more inland in Palomar Mountains. So the elevation is about 5 to 6,000 feet. And when I was there, I had an opportunity to visit with my family, my wife and a daughter. And so it was a nice day then, so we went there to visit. Yeah. Okay, first, we drive on the way there, Interstate 5. Right. And so take a nice ride there. And finally, we reach up there, close to the observatory, but it's still a long way yet. And I happened to see my Palomar General Store. First, I thought it was the headquarters, but sometimes it's the headquarters there before you go really up in the mountain. The observatory was located, but this I thought it was the headquarters first, but this is my Palomar General Store. So that's the first thing you see when you're on the way up there. Yeah. So a little further down the road, then finally I thought to see the 200-inch telescope right up here. Then I told my wife, say, "Oh, good, we're almost there." After you turn this road here to the left, then to the right, to the left, up and down and all. It took 20 minutes. After you see this picture here, it took 20 minutes to get to the observatory. You got to go behind and go behind the hill, and then on the way up. It was a long hike. After I made that turn there, I don't see the observatory until when I get up there. Anyway, finally, we ride up there, and at the direction they have a visitor parking there, and you can see the elevation feet. It's between 5,600, 2,000 feet. So that's not that bad, if you have an altitude sickness or motion sickness, so it shouldn't bother to most of the people. So again, the visitor hours here, so we were able to go and we parked the car, and there it is. Walk around a little bit, and it is right here. So it's a beautiful day, and then this little road go around the dome and all, the 200-inch telescope. And what happened was, with my wife, had a little trouble walking, so we went to on the side there where you can go up the stairs, and then you go inside. There's the gallery here. You see George Hale, the guy who financing the 200-inch telescope, and so they have the sculpture of him, and I got a few other places to see there. And finally, we were able to see the inside the dome where they located the 200-inch telescope. Now, we went through on the side there, and there were a couple of maintenance guys. I think they were painting. It looked like a garage door, and they were painting. And they asked, asked me, my family, my wife has a little trouble walking. So instead of go all the way around, he asked us if you want to come to inside to see the telescope, come this way, and I'll show you. So we went through the little doorway, and we were like in the lower level. And it looked like like you're in the basement and all, and they have an elevator shaft and all, everything by rope barrels. That's all you see. So we went through the little elevator. Yeah, I don't remember. No, they didn't go like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Now we went up, and finally, when opened the door, and that's what you see there. And this is the bottom of the 200-inch telescope and all. And so we were lucky. So we were there, and we went there, and that's it. That's what you see all around. This is the control room, and they have a few desks here. So as we went underneath, as you can see, they have all the instruments there, and this case here, this comes down, and if you have any kind of attachment to the mirror here, and that's located. So they have the stairs here because it's really high, and it's like a little it's like 10 feet high, so you cannot reach it. They have a ladder here that you can go up and open up, and you do what you have to do in order to make the observation. And then finally you look up, and you can see the whole telescope. It's at the top here. Believe it or not, it's pretty dark up there, so the shutter would close. So I tried to take the picture, but not enough light up there. But anyway, you can see most of the main part of the telescope here, and moved here. And then down, if you look on the side, it's like a little control room. It's a little bit, it's not neatly and all, but you see a lot of things one top of another and all. This is a cabinet, this is desk there. That's all you see all around the telescope.
That's the date 93.
With that?
That's the date 1993.
No, that's not 93. No, I went about 15 years ago. Yeah.
They have CRT monitors. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the guy that helped us to come in and show this around here. My wife and daughter, and also let's just see all around. Everything is just barrel, steel, most of the area here.
If I can make a comment, normally when you go to see the Hale telescope, there's a door where visitors go in, and you're in like an area, I don't know, 20 or 30 feet long.
Yeah.
With glass
Yes.
windows,
Okay.
and you have to stand there, and that's how you see the telescope. So
Yeah.
Frank.
Well,
in and
we were
walking
lucky.
around
Yeah,
down
on the
street.
side there, that's like a little booth here with the glass, and you can see the whole telescope and all. But I think it would close to the public to enter inside the telescope. But but it's available any time of the day, in a week, to able to go into the little booth and see the telescope. But my wife had trouble walking, going around there, and then you go up the steps. So it was easily for us to come, if you want to see the telescope, you come this way. And the guy, this guy helped us to come inside, and he gave us a nice tour all around. So I really appreciate it. That guy did, yeah. That guy points on the break. He was the painter, so he's taking a break, and he shows us around. Yeah, we were very lucky on that time. Yeah. You can see there's nobody around by us. So.
VIPs.
Yeah. It's everybody together, my whole family together, and so we had a good time. We were there maybe by half hour before we start to go outside. Now, after walking around, as you can see, well, this is again, just the bottom part of the mirrors, the 2-inch mirrors right over here. So it's always this is standing up position when it's not in use. Okay, this is outside on one side of the observatory. You can see all the stairs here, and this is one of the ways to go in, but we went on the side. There was like a little garage or something like that. Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, next, Cape Peak Observatory. Now, that's located in Arizona, about 50 miles west of Tucson. And that's another, it's like a telescope city. Everything you see up there, you see a lot of white domes around. And this is probably the most, this is the most telescope they have in any other place in the world on one spot. So here, okay. Again, on the way there, we were staying in Tucson on the way to see the observatory, and right away, there's the dome right here. And I'm like, oh, good, we're almost there. No, there's another half hour to go. I mean, we got road here, they gotta go this way, that way here, then you gotta go behind the mountain, then you go up there. And it looked like we were right there, but this is still a half hour away.
How high
Yeah.
is the mountain?
Yeah.
How high is the mountain?
Maybe about 7,000 feet, 6,000, not very high. I mean, you're not talking about 10,000 feet, like the one in Hawaii.
Frank, are those all visual telescopes or some of them?
Most of it visually, no, some they take the spectrograph, the imaging
Just like-
telescopes, yeah.
They have
Yeah.
a visitor, I don't, you can talk about the visitor center?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, okay. On the way there, finally, we find a road that can lead up to the Cape Peak Observatory. That's still 20 miles away. And so it's daily open 9 to 4. So that's good. You can go almost any day of the week, you know. Okay, yeah. All right. The elevation is 7,000 feet.
Wow.
Okay, this is the road that goes up, and finally, it's a lot of curves, zigzag this way as you're going up there.
It's rattlesnakes?
Mm-hmm.
Any rattlesnakes? They don't have rattlesnakes. right?
Yeah, I get to that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, well, we're not up there yet, but on the way up there, we start to see a lot of telescopes and all, but still we have to go another 5 minutes to go around the hill there. So it was a nice day. So, okay. Yeah. All right. First, we got up there. Right away, you
paid
see
you to
beware of
say
snake. Yeah. That's the first thing we saw once we hit the parking lot. Beware of snake. Oh my God, my wife and daughter, they're ready to go down. Ready to go. But not only the snake, but you got coyotes, you got the skunks, you got spiders, bears too. Yeah, they're around. But they say snakes, well, that's the scary part. But anyway, you don't see the snake unless you go into the bush. But if you stay in the sidewalk where the majority of the people walking, you don't see anything. No.
That's all.
Yeah, just hope you don't see it. That's something you don't want to see. Okay. As you're walking around, they have a few things to see. And these are the university that participate the Cape Peak Observatory. If you look carefully, I was blocking here, but you say over here, University of Stony Brook as University of New York as Stony Brook, right over here. So also they participate the Cape Peak Observatory. And also this is McGrath Pierce Solar Telescope. This is from the distance, so we went there to see it. The light, here's the mirror here. The light comes down from here and go down to the tube here. And when we walked through here, there was a door here, and we were able to go inside, and this is what it looked like. Well, this is the graph here, so I'm going to show the part that we went inside as it would look like here. And once we go through the door, it's like a little booth here that you can see looking down here, then looking up, and you can see the sun that's shining from the top all the way down to the darkness. You can't even see because it's further down. So this is looking up, where they have the mirror here to reflect the sunlight coming here. Then the other direction, you can see it's going down. Well, that's not a very good picture, but I have another picture which I'm going to show here. You can see what it looks like here. There's really nothing to see because it's only the sun rays just going down all the way to the bottom. Yeah, and they have I went inside here, but I wasn't allowed to go in there. They told me only employees, employees allowed. So we went outside. So there's a restriction to the public. Yeah. Okay, as we're going around, we have an 84-inch telescope, and Okay, we were inside here. There's a Cassegrain telescope right here, and we were to see. There was a few people around, and we have outside here. You can drive around and hit the car here, park here, and then you can walk around here. And here's the 84-inch telescope. You go through here, and they couple stairways, and you can see the telescope right there. No, nobody's around. You're free to walk in because it's open to the public. So you need a car to go around. They do have walking tours, but it's a little difficult for my wife. So otherwise, you can take with the car. That's no problem. They have roads go to every observatory. Yeah. Okay. Okay. As we go around here, there's more telescope there, and have a nice view around. And here we go. And here's the 4-meter telescope, and several others here. I don't remember offhand. I have a 3.5 wind telescope. I don't know if I put it in here, but I did have a picture of it, but I don't know if I throw it in here. But I just have too many to show. But this is the bigger telescope on the hill. You can there the 4-meter May hill. Okay, this is one at Swasey Observatory. I forgot what kind of telescope is in there offhand. So most of the telescope the observatory it's closed, but sometimes they do open to the public. But when we were there, it was closed at the time. But we went to see 84-inch, which was open. Okay, so this is a 4-meter telescope, which is 158-inch. This is a Mellilo telescope. So yeah. So this is just outside. Looking up, this is what the telescope is there. So it's close to the public at that time. And also they have the elevator to go up there. So that's what located on the top there, the top of the dome. Yeah.
My understanding was
Yeah.
that they thought they could get better seeing
Yeah.
if they moved the whole dome way up in the air. And they did that clearly at a lot more expense, because that can't have any shakiness or anything
Yeah,
else.
that's
in it.
probably the only telescope in the whole area that have up
Right. And my
lift.
understanding is when they got all done, the seeing wasn't really any better. So there aren't more telescopes
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So they
Aren't they
kept in the
thinking
ground.
of
Yeah.
up at
Because you get
ground?
the air is worse down near the ground with all the air motion
Mhm.
blowing around, going over rocks, tumbling. And normally you would think to
Yeah.
get up out of the ground, off the ground,
Yeah.
you get better seeing.
Yeah. It was pretty hot though. It was pretty hot there. It was very, very sunny there, and you can feel a lot of heat around. And at night it cools off. So you got a lot of heat raising. So yeah, I mean, they don't get the best seeing, but sometimes they do. But the clarity of the sky is much better
Do you
than
know
any
how high
other.
is the tower?
I think it's about 50 feet. Yeah, 50, 75. Yeah, 50 feet. Yeah.
It really sticks up.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
see that, and it's like, look how high up that is.
Yeah, I know. What kind of amazing. I mean,
Wow.
if you
There's a sister telescope to that in Cerro Tololo, another 4-meter
Yeah.
scope built exactly, but it doesn't have that thing under it, but it's.
okay, and also they have the visitor center. It's really nice. I don't have any pictures here, but if you go inside, you see a lot of galleries, see pictures, models, and history. They have a short films, short documentary about the Kick Peak Observatory, the history of the Kick Peak Observatory. Yeah, they have a little cafeteria where you can serve food, like a little food court. So yes, it's a visitor center, and it's really nice place to visit. Then you look on the side here, you see a bunch of people. They have tours there, and they have another telescope up here. I think it's the 20-inch scope or something like that, and that's open to the public if you have any reservation to participate the observing program at night. So that's the telescope they use there. So, yeah, so I think this is the tour guide, and it's a lot of walking. They have the map here, you can walk all the way around. You need a whole day to do that, but we took the car instead.
That telescope is open. If you go on the website, you can make a reservation.
yes,
And I
yeah.
think you can do like half the night or all night.
Yeah,
Or something like that.
Yeah, there's the fee. I don't know how much it is. I think they go by maybe by hour or half a night or the whole night. It depends. If the weather wasn't good, you out of luck. I don't know if that's the case, or if they can reschedule if the night wasn't good. So yeah, that's a really nice place to visit if you haven't been there. I mean,
What is their telescope for the public? Do you know?
this one here,
It's a 24-inch
It's-
Newtonian.
yeah, it's a 24, 20.
But there's like 3 or 4, the ATS, Antique Telescope Society, met there like 10 years ago. And we divided up into 4 groups, and I think there were like 16-inch Schmidt-Casses. I think
Right.
there were like 3 of those scattered around that can be
Yeah.
used for the observing program. And I think the program only runs till 10 o'clock at night. And then there's the 24-inch and
Yeah, but if you have a reservation, I mean, you can stay there the half the night and you do what you gotta do. I
Yeah.
mean, with the group, so if you bring your own equipment, a camera, and you're free to take any pictures you want. But you have to bring your own equipment if you have a camera or lens or something like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, again, you can easily spend the whole day up there. It's free. I mean, they don't charge any admission. It's free. You're free to go around as long as it's open. Okay, now Lower Observatory. It's located in Arizona again, in Flagstaff, a little further up. Tucson Observatory is located on the southern Arizona, but this is a little further north, so there's a little more a little cooler and more. It's more like a forest area. So anyway, we had a chance to visit the Lower Observatory, and this is the entrance. I welcome the private, and it was established in 1894. So this is the front of the entrance there. So we went up there, and then we were able to walk around. And this is the 24-inch clock refractor. This is the doorway here, and what happened was that it's not open to the public. The doors were locked, but otherwise you're free to go in and see. But the doors were locked. But they renovated the floor. All right, so nobody allowed to go in there. But we went around on the other side of the dome, which is this picture here, and the door was open. Because the reason the door was open because they need ventilation. They have a lot of fans blowing around, but you can able to peek and look inside. So, and here I took a few pictures, and there we go. Here's the bottom half of the 24-inch refractor, and they did the tail rat. You can believe it right there. Yeah, and yeah, they did the floor here. They refurnished it all, so nobody allowed to walk there yet. But otherwise, if you go there other time, then you can able to walk in there. They have somebody there, and you can talk about the telescope and all.
What year was that?
This was 2008, I believe, 15 years ago. Yeah, and so look around here at the top here, and the dome was open just a little bit. The reason that because you need ventilation. So, and this is the wider shot, and you can see, people sitting down here at the latitude, and that's it. They did the floor here, and that's it. It's nothing else to see all around. I mean, that's about it. So we were lucky just to see the refractor, and
Frank.
yeah.
Do I recall correctly that this dome was built by 2 brothers who had no background in astronomy at all, and like it was a very haphazard?
Yeah. Well, first of
Yeah.
all, they were built in Mexico. All right, and they disassembled, and they found a better spot in Arizona, and they built it up, but I think it was taken down because it wasn't built properly. And it's, you know,
This
so,
has automobile tires.
Right,
yeah.
Yep.
You could see,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hubcaps on them.
yeah.
Yeah,
So they
Frank-
built a better one, so this is the most better one.
yeah, Frank,
This is the train station. Okay,
I just wanted to make sure.
okay, this is the train station where Clyde Tombaugh got off. A Flagstaff train station, so it's still standing there after 90 years. So it hasn't changed much, and the picture I saw where back then, and that's the station he got off. But anyway, okay, if you're going around around the observatory, do you see a lot of things like Pluto Walk, the plate where Pluto was discovered, and as you're walking around, here's the dome where standing here. This is the 13-inch dome where Pluto discovered the telescope there, and so this is the door where you can enter inside the observatory. But if you look on the side here, this is some of the exact same place where Clyde Tombaugh was standing. Same door here, and this is amazing. So that hasn't changed much here. This area right here. And that's quite amazing that this is the door he entered to go inside the observatory. As you go in, there's a few steps to go up.
Well, you just skipped.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's read through this. So once you go up the few steps, this is the 13-inch. So this is the telescope that Pluto was discovered, the 13-inch there. And it's still standing there, and I don't know if they're still using, but it's just now there for maybe for educational purposes like that.
It was refurbished, I
Yeah.
think, like 15 years ago.
Okay, yeah, probably. This is probably before that. Okay, as you're walking around, there's another observatory there. I forgot which one it is. This is Discovery telescope. I think it's a 4.3 meter telescope. So it was close, so we didn't get to that area. There's really nothing around. It was close to the public. But anyway, I think we saw the 24-inch refractor. That is the main. So okay, as you're walking around, this is a tomb. This is where Christopher Lowell, the guy, the founder of the Lowell Observatory, it's where he was buried. And if you look closely, that's written down on the stone on the side. Christopher Lowell was the founder and the director. From this is where he the birth and the death. 1916. He was only 61 years old. We died of a stroke, and he did a lot between those. So at that time, it was still trying to look for if there's another planet beyond Neptune. So searching for the planet X until 13, 14 years later when Clyde Tombaugh came along and he governed in 1930. Okay, they have on the side, they have like a visitor center, the galleries where you can walk around. And so you can see here, you can see a lot of pictures, equipment, old equipment, the original equipment they were using back in those days. And then if you look here, you can see all the gallery, the history of Christopher Lowell. I believe here, this picture, no, I don't have a picture here, but there was a picture of a girl decided to name Pluto. It was a young girl. They Pluto, named the planet, and she won that name for the planet Pluto when everyone was discovered. And of course, they have books here, And on the side here, they have a little stereoscope where you can look through here the same way Clyde Tombaugh discovered Pluto. Then you have one image, two images, then you have a blank microscope out. So that's what it looks like. One object here, and then it keeps going back and forth. So this to give you an idea how the Pluto was discovered by shifting. You see one image, then another image, you see it move back and forth. So And this is the same thing that Clyde Tombaugh, Pluto. So this is kind of same, it's the same implementation that should be used to discover Pluto.
Hey, Frank,
Yeah,
for the demo that they have, are they using the actual photographic plates as well?
Yeah.
that
No.
Clyde
Yeah.
Tombaugh used?
The plates are in a plate stack in the
Oh,
back.
okay.
now we should talk about the original plate.
Yeah.
No, no,
Okay, so they're,
they just,
copies or
yeah,
duplicates.
they kept that in the safe. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, but they show the duplicates. They show how to look like when Pluto was discovered. They hit the plate here, and there's another plate here. Before and after, you can see this. You can see the move against the background. And I don't know. I don't remember what I did. They have something here you can shift back and forth, and you see two different images. You can see Pluto moving back and forth. It's the same way you can see it.
Somebody hasn't seen it.
Yeah,
It's an extended version.
yeah. So they have other things to around. Okay, now going out, looking out from the Lower Observatory, this is the town of Flagstaff. So looking pretty high. From what I understand, it's very little light pollution there. They have their light control in the downtown Flagstaff.
Yep.
So, you know, that's a good thing. I mean, the sky's still fairly dark. Yeah, I've been there at night, at the hotel, when I was staying at the hotel, and, well, it's still a lot of local lights. But and overall, it's not as bad as other towns.
All lights are capped, every one of them,
Yeah,
so that the whole light goes in the ground.
yeah, they have fixed shield. All the lights is hanging down and set it up. So very little light pollution there. You still can't even see the Milky Way. I remember seeing it. It wasn't a very clear night, but I can barely see it, the Milky Way. So. Okay, okay, Mount Wilson, 100-inch telescope and 60-inch telescope. All right, when we went to Mount Palomar, when I was just showing you before, I was ready to say, okay, maybe in the next day or two we can go to Mount Wilson. But unfortunately, there was the brush fire, and it was closed to the public. Okay, so we would look out for that one. So the second time I went to California, I had an opportunity to well, when we were there was a brush fire a month earlier, but the damage was done and the roads were closed, and they did a lot of cleanup, and they blocked all the road that lead up to the Mount Wilson Observatory. So it was closed to the public and all. But this time when we were there, it was open to the public, so we had a very good chance to go up there. So okay, on the way up there, of course, you see the sign thing Mount Wilson, and also, all right, so we're on the way up there. Yeah, and finally, this is what the road looked like on the way up there. The mountain sceneries and all, it's really nice as you get higher and higher. Then finally we reached to the parking lot. So yeah, so that leads to the parking lot, and we even parked the car right there. Okay, then we were walking around. Luckily we have a tour guide. So this is a tour guide here who will show us around. And so yeah, so it was founded by George Ellery Hell in 1904. But the telescope, the 100-year telescope, wasn't even built yet. But they do have a solar tower, which is the first one there, and which is right here, 150-foot solar tower. So we walked there. So you know, there's no place to go around with the car. You have to walk there. So this is the parking lot, and you have to walk through all the observatories. Not like Cape Peak. Cape Peak, you can drive the car. They have every road to go to the telescope dome, but now not here. But anyway, after the long walk, that we're able to see the solar tower, and by looking down, we can able to go in. And it's not very big. I mean, it's just a little small, just like this size right here. And so we're able to see the sun here, and they demonstrate how they study the sun by using the plate here. And this is all the people who are all around, and you can see here. And this is the scale of the sun scale, and what you see here, that's the side of Jupiter with respect to the sun, the side of the sun. So they're able to show the people how big is the sun compared to Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system. So this is the scale of Jupiter compared to the sun. Wow. Yeah. So still Jupiter is the biggest planet, but compared to the sun is very small. There is few sunspots you can see, but I don't think the picture coming out. Okay, now the 60-inch telescope, it was both I don't remember offhand. It was built probably in the late 20s or something like that. So we're able to go in, but I only have one picture here, and this is the bottom. Oh, wait a minute. No. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, the show us, this is the bottom here, and believe it or not, they have a tower right up there. And so of course they have a ladder up there to adjust it. So the eyepiece is right here. So you don't really need ladder to see here, but it's pointing up. The dome was closed, but it's pointing up here, and this is what you look through here. The eyepiece here. So.
And you can go pay and stay all night and look through the 60-inch. Usually,
Yeah.
they do it as a group.
Yeah, yeah, then you can make the reservation online, depending if you want a half a night or the whole night. I don't know how they charge, maybe by hour or by half a night. Yeah. So
It just destroys you for life when once you look through that.
You go through those also.
yeah. Okay, now on to the 100-inch telescope. It's bigger, it's more to see here. And the shutter's open a little bit because they need some light in there. So it's open to the public with the tour. And we went in and hit the 100 by the door, you see the 100-inch telescope, hooker telescope. And there it is. If you walk in, this is it. It's not smaller than I thought, but it's it's from far away, a little small, but if you get a little closer, you
Not
can
that
see
big.
it's pretty big though. So so this is it. This is just like it's pointing up, But after walking around, there's a tour guide there. They show one of the very first astronomers that used the telescope with the Hubble, Edwin Hubble. And of course, this is the original rocket. This is all other astronomers there, and this is the Hubble, the most famous astronomer in the 20th century. He discovered the expansion of the universe, and so it's named Hubble. But this is the tour guide and show that this is the book, and he explained about the history and the life of Hubble of the Hubble Edwin Hubble. They say Griffith observer, but I don't know why. So this is one of the booklets here, and so he was talking about Edwin Hubble. He was one of the first astronomers to discover the expansion of the universe by observing imaging of the variable stars in the Andromeda galaxy. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, I think it was 100 years ago this week. The first week of October 1923, that's when he started to realize that the variable stars in the Andromeda galaxy is outside our galaxy, not inside. Yeah, and then he became realized because the periodically is compared to the Cephas variable star in our galaxy, as you can see how bright it is, but compared to the one in Andromeda galaxy, it appears a lot fainter, but they got the same periodical cycle. And what it's so faint, but why it is so faint? Because they don't have a sense of realize that it's outside our galaxy instead of in our galaxy. So make a long story short, they realized that the Andromeda galaxy, they call the Andromeda Nebula, is outside our galaxy instead of inside our galaxy. So that's when they start to realize that the universe is much bigger than that sort. But anyway, you're looking around, there's a couple of pictures here. I'm looking out there. This, yeah. I'm just, oops.
Going the wrong way, going the wrong way.
Okay, yeah.
That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, Yeah, this is the wide angle shot, though. This is a field view of the 100-inch telescope. And of course, they have a more, the eyepiece is on the other side there. So the guy here was able to show up there. And of course, it's the telescope here and then pointing up. If I could find it or something like that. And I don't remember exactly where the eyepiece here. I think it's here and also on the side too, depending what you're looking at, or what kind of configuration you want to do. So many different ways to do it. Okay, this is the chair up on the side of the telescope. This is the original chair where the Hubble, Edwin Hubble used during the observing. So the chair is still up there. They're trying to preserve it, preserve that. It's unusual you see a chair up there. So yeah, this goes up and down. And what you're looking depend on the position of the telescope. Okay, on the side there, it looks messy with cable wires and all. That's what you see when you're there. And that's where they used tracking the telescope, the time. And so, yeah, old-fashioned telephone here, you know, that's a computer wasn't even there at that time. But this is all the instruments they used at that time where they controlled the telescope, you know. No, that's pretty look kind of a little messy there, but that's the way that they left. Okay, now we went outside the catwalk. As you can see the surrounding area, this is one side here. This is the whole Mount Wilson. Now, there's the telescope here, the dome. I forgot what it was. I think it's one of the small ones that they used that for the public, for for night session here for amateur astronomy. Then I forgot what telescope it is. I think it's a 60-inch, 20-inch, or something like that. So this is the general view of the Mount Wilson area, and this is the other side. Looking at the other side, so it's a pretty nice view. Yeah, there's another small telescope there. There's a lot of smaller telescope there, but just the main one, just 100-inch and the 60-inch, and the solar tower, and the solar 150-foot tower. Okay, now, also this is the end of it. So, the day was over, then we went down. Then finally I went home. Okay, so we took off from Los Angeles Airport to go over the ocean and all. And we made a big turn all the way around and back inland. And guess what? It's observatory, Mount Wilson Observatory. Right over the plane. I couldn't believe it. I was sitting on the right side of the plane, and I looked down. This is it. I could believe it. Here's the 100-foot tower. Here's the 60-inch, and it's the 100-inch. I couldn't believe it. I thought I would never see it again. And luckily I saw it just on time because I put my camera away. I would shovel my camera here because the plane was moving pretty quickly. And finally I got a good shot. And that's what it looked like from 10,000, 15,000 feet high. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. I thought I would never see it again and I'd see over the plane. Anyway, luckily I was sitting, I was sitting on the left side of the plane and you can see it. If I would have sat on the other side, I probably wouldn't have. So, okay. Now, Yerkes Observatory. It's located in southern Wisconsin, called Williams Bay, name of the area of the town. I was in Chicago for Alcom 2012, an Alpo meeting, an Alcom meeting. And so we made a trip to go see the Yerkes Observatory, which is roughly an hour and a half drive from there. So we went there, and it's really a nice place to visit. So luckily, there's no hill around, and so I drove there, and it's located in Wisconsin. And finally, there's the sign set, University of Chicago Yerkes Observatory, right here. No hill, nothing. It's just like in the middle of the neighborhood. The houses all around, and right away, it's a major observatory there. It's not like going up the hill like you see Mount Wilson and Mount Palmer and Lowell Observatory. So it's open to public, so we were there. Then they have the road that lead to the observatory. It's not a very long drive, so there, it's only about a minute away if making left. And there it is. This is the front of the telescope. We went ourselves. They have a bus tour up there too, but we went ourselves, you know. So this is I forgot what telescope is that, but they have the 40-inch refractor, which is the largest refractor in the world, even now. And so we had a very good view. And this is the front, and at the University of Chicago. So it's like an old-fashioned building, you know. So we went through the door here, and at the site here. So you know, they have the hours where you can go in, and they have a free 45 minutes tour Saturday through the year. So it's not open all the time, but sometimes you know, you need a reservation to go in there. But we're in a tour. So we don't, even though we went ourselves, but they have a bus tour. The people from the outcome event. So we went inside, and of course you see the hallway, you see the galleries, and also as you're walking around, then you see the 40-inch. And the dome was closed at that time, so you could see equatorial mound. You could see the declination mound right here. It's just a big wheel, and at the right concession there. And so the guy was talking about it, and this is the guy we're talking about. I think people were standing on the side here. The floor goes up and down, depending how the telescope, depending on the position of the telescope, the floor goes up and down. So, did you look it up? Yeah, and it's pretty neat though. I mean, it's nice. It's remember, it's blue here, it's white there, all different colors there. I think they repaint this the other day, the other time. This is one side, and this is the front side, and this is everything that's covered here. That's where they use to mount any instruments to the telescope and all. So, this is another walkway. There's all these wheels around and all brick all around. That's what you see there all the way around. Yeah, there's another close-up shot. And it's another side here, just where you control the telescope, I believe, and behind the rail there, there's a walkway go all the way around the dome. So, and I was standing on the side there, so I don't know if the tour guide was talking about the telescope. Of course, this is the hallway. They have galleries and all, and they have different instruments, all instruments they used back in the early 20th century, late 19th century. I think that the observatory was built in 18 something. I remember offhand. 1896, I believe. Again, there's the gallery there. There's a lot to see, though. Not just the telescope, but I'd like to see a lot of galleries around, pictures and so forth. And of course, have a little library on the side. And if I remember correctly, I was sitting next to this girl and say that if you have a wish, which objects you want to observe. And I was sitting next to her and saying, okay, I'd like to see the Globular cluster, M68, which is in the constellation Cobus in the spring sky. And about a week later, I got an email at the attachment, the image on M68.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I should put the in here, but okay, this is the front. Maybe it's in the back side, I don't remember. I think that the front or the back. I think they have the back too. And the back of the observatory is nothing but a big lawn that you see here. And it's a big lawn there, and they have several telescopes. I forgot which one it is. I remember offhand. I think they have like maybe a 10-inch refractor or something like that. But on the other side there, which is this side here, that's where it's located of the 30-inch, 40-inch refractor.
And that looks like a garbage can, but it's an
No, it's a 10-inch,
observatory.
it's a telescope here, the 10-inch meet.
How dare they?
There it is. It's pretty wide. I have a lot of property back there, you know, it's somewhat like a ballpark. Yeah. Okay, here's a close-up shot.
The architectural detail of this place
Yeah.
is beyond imagining. I mean, this is stunning from here, but when you come in the front door and see all the carvings on all
Yeah,
the columns, and there's little
Right, but-
bumblebees and all kinds of things
Old
carved
pillars.
into the stone.
old pillars all around. Yeah, they did the catwalk though, you able to walk. Yeah, so we'll go in with them. Yeah. Okay, this is the front view. So that's a nice place to visit, you know, no hills, no, everything is flat there. Sea level, and so forth. Okay. All right, finally, Allegheny Observatory. All right. I had, like I said it before, last July, and we went there. And I made a reservation on a Saturday night to have like 2.5 hour tour to go around the observatory, and they have the speakers there. And so it was a clear night. There was a couple other people, there was quite a few people there, and they gave up the talk. And this is on the way up there. Okay, they have the road lead up to the Riverside Park. Riverview Park. All right, you get up there, and they have the observatory to go there, and then in another area go on this side here, another part of the park. It's like a big park there. As you make a right turn here, and you see the dome. And you go up the hill, and you see the dome right through the trees there. And finally, you got to the top, and there it is. I popped the card here, then I took my pictures there. That's it. That's it, the whole side here. There's 3 domes, 1, 2, and there's another one behind it. And then I'm walking around, I took several shots. You can see that there's whole rust up there. And a little close up here, this is on the other side here. Okay, this is the 30-inch refractor right here. And we're gonna see through here. Okay, so look up here. Yeah, so you need a reservation, you go up there if it's on night. You know, email, you gotta telephone them, and they take your name. They want to know who you are before you arrive there. Okay, the public hearing then came from April 1st to November 1st. So we were there July. No charge, nothing. You know, as long as you make a reservation, they'll let you in. And then they have your name already on the list. So. Okay, historic landmark. Yeah, so this is on the front door here. Okay, this is a tour guide. No, this is a woman, sorry. Her name is Kelly. She gave out the tour, went around. Sorry, this is the sculpture. This is the guy. I forgot his name. So he designed Allegheny Observatory back there. It was built in the 1800s, maybe 1860s, something like that, right after the Civil War. At that time, Pittsburgh was a very small city. Now it's all light polluted there. So they use it for very little. They do a little scientific research, but it's mainly for educational purpose. So, then we went by the library. Of course, got a lot of books here, journals, and so forth, pictures, all the past, all the astronomers back in the 19th century and all, drawings and all. Like they have periodic journals there. So astronomical journals, professional journals, and they have amateur, and they have alpha journals too, Associated Lunar Planetary Observer. They have that too. So they have a lot of documents there for the past 150 years. So, again, this Terry, her name is, went to the public, but you know, pictures they have taken to the Hubble Space Telescope. And it'll have a period, they have magazine. It's not the thing. You can spend a whole day in the library and see all this, research that they did. So again, this is the library. It's pretty big though. It's almost a little small in this room here. And nothing but books all around, bookcases all around. And they have table and chairs that you can sit down and read at your leisure time. Okay, so we finally went up to the 30-inch dome. As you realize that this is all the people there, part of the group, and they're all students because they're there to do the scientific project for the high school. They're all high school students and they're doing the project. Yeah. I asked one of them, I don't remember who I asked, that they do variable stars, photometry, and I keep tracking the variable stars. That is one of the projects they do. Because that's where all the scientific variables do. So they have this floor here, can go up and down. You see another level here? It goes now. My wife Jean has trouble walking, and they have a lot of stairs going there. So once the people left, she raised the floor to the second level. Easy for my wife to get out there. Yes, yes, yeah. They have the second level and they have the third level up here. This on the top of the picture. So they got 3 levels there. I believe this is the lowest level.
I mean, the floor is like the size of a basketball court. And there was a
it's wooden
picture
floor.
in some publication from years ago at Yerkes where there was something wrong and the floor collapsed.
Yes, right, yes.
And there's a picture of the wreckage, but it's all wheels and pulleys and cables and everything else, and the whole
Luckily,
you control it with a switch, and the whole giant floor goes up as the telescope tilts this way. The eyepiece then comes up, so the floor has to come up 10-15 feet. So you can still look into the
I
eyepiece.
forgot to mention that. Yeah, the tour guy at the Allegheny Observatory. It happened in the middle of the night. Luckily, nobody was around. It happened in the middle of the night, and there was a big bang. A lot of people in the neighborhood heard it. It had like an echo noise. He had like a big bang in the middle of the night. So that was unusual. Yeah, because there's a lot of echo from there, and you can hear from outside. And they woke up people in the middle of the night. They woke up from their sleep. What the heck is that noise? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is a 30-inch clock refractor. It's sideways. It's not pointing out like the other telescope, and you can see all this peeling paint there. I mean, they're not even look so low there. This is the mount here. It's
the car.
yeah. Okay, this is the mount here, and you're kind of able to walk inside and up there. There's like a little cage there. I think that you control, the movement of the telescope. That's where the motor is to move the telescope this way. Yeah. So that's very similar to the 40-inch refractor in the Yerkes Observatory. Just looking down here, upstairs here. That's it. That's just what you see all around. Okay, there's another refractor, 13-inch, I believe. I don't remember offhand. I think it's the 9-inch first clock telescope. Now this was open and we were able to look it through, and this is it. Through here, the eyepiece. I forgot what eyepiece, but this is the kind of eyepiece I have in our home. And it's the finder-scope here. So here's they pointed out the crescent moon. The dome was open. This is still daylight. They have to point out the crescent moon. The crescent moon is just like looking through the small telescope. Yeah. So they have a ladder here to can look through the eyepiece right there. So they have the catwalk. You go outside the dome and you can see the surrounding area. It looked pretty high up. This is the whole town of Pittsburgh. But the downtown Pittsburgh was, I believe, was behind the trees here. I think right here, right tree here, downtown Pittsburgh. So it's blocking that tree there, so it's really blocking light. But at night there, it's full of lights there. So, here on the other side, you can see the 30-inch dome. Yeah, it's closed there. Everything. We with the 9-inch refractor, we are trying to see Venus. Yes, Venus was visible, but the 30-inch dome was blocking it, so we couldn't see it. But if you sit outside, you can see Venus right there, and the moon, the crescent moon up here. The crescent moon we were able to see because it was higher up. Okay, this is on the other side there. There's really nothing. It's just surrounded by shrubs, trees around, and this is the backside of the observatory. Okay, they have people looking through here. This girl here, is a student doing her research at the mother and father, and a lot of they've been their parents and all. So it's pretty interesting. All the students there do their high school research project. So, it's me standing there. As you can look through here, look through the finescope, the main scope is right here. Okay, another observatory. This is a 24-inch CAS plane wave. This is the telescope they use for the research, and they have the CT camera already hooked up. There's still daylight, yeah, but they're ready to getting ready at night. And it's like 9 o'clock in the evening. It was still daylight. It gets out really late there. So you can see here on the side here, the stuff they prepare for the observations and all. So this is the telescope they use. So they don't look through. They use the CT images on the screen and they do research. They don't look through the telescope like we do. Yeah, they use the CCD and they project the image on the screen and they do the research right there. They don't look through it. Yeah. That's amazing, these days, how they do these days. Yeah. Okay. That's it. This is on nighttime, and the dome is still closed. They gotta open yet. They gotta open up yet. But it's about 9:30 at that time, which is about to getting dark, 10 o'clock. But we were tired. I mean, they were there until midnight. So we left a little after 10 o'clock, and that's when they opened up. Yeah. So I guess that's about it at the end.
Yeah.
All right. So again, if you haven't been there, go. If you have a chance to visit one of your observatories, it's really nice. I've been to small observatory around the country, but just show the major one. These are professionals, so they're worth visiting. You can spend a whole day there. It's really worth it. Allegheny Observatory, I think it's the closest one here among all the other observatory I show.
Great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Does anybody have a question at home? No.